Welcome back to the shores of Lake Washington. What? Where did that come from? That was not thinking before one begins to speak. That's a good one. Don't think that's Lake Washington. Welcome back to the shores of Lake Guntersville. It is the 2024 H1 Unlimited Lake Guntersville Hydrofest and the race for the Southern Cup. We are inside 10 minutes to the start of our Heat 3 for H1 Unlimited Hydroplanes. It is presented by the Guntersville Water Board. We'll give a rundown of the boats momentarily, but I got a broadcast partner that's going to assist me here with the call of this heat. Please welcome to the microphone H1 Unlimited Chairman of the Board, Mr. Mike Denslow. Mike, you got your ears on?
I hope so. Thanks, Brad.
There you go. So you're going to play announcer here with me. This will be kind of fun. And I can honestly tell you this is not rehearsed. We'll just see how this goes. We'll have a good time. However, you can certainly talk with me about the boats that are going to come out here in our H1 Unlimited Heat 3. Guntersville Water Board is the presenting sponsor. We're 8 minutes and 10 seconds away from our start. But, Mike, I don't know if you've got a list of boats in front of you, but it's a good one. We're going to come with the boat number 1, the red one, the Beacon Electric, driven by our defending national high points champion, J. Michael Kelly. Also in our heat is going to be the Miss Mercury's Coffee, the U11, Jamie Nielsen. Dave Vilwalk's going to come out in that red, white, and blue brand new Miss Apollo, the U27. And Corey Peabody, he kind of needs some points. He didn't have the best day yesterday. He's going to come out in the U9 Beacon Plumbing. Corey, of course, the Guntersville defending champion. He'd like to have a good showing in this one. That's a good lineup of boats.
Strong lineup. We got the strong teammates, and then we got Jamie and Dave. So I think every time we put boats on the water, it's going to be a strong field. Everybody's so equal. It's really exciting to see.
Yeah, and that's what we keep talking about. You know, you go back in the day, and I tell fans all the time, go back and watch some of the races back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s even. Yeah, you got more boats in the pit area, but how many of them were really given a good shot at winning the event? Pretty much anybody across there could do this if everything goes according to plan for them. That's the idea. We've got 6 boats. It's going to be very competitive. Coming up on 6:50 until the start. Normally, Mike, our boats are not allowed to be released and come out on the race course until the 5-minute mark, but because the pit area is so far away, we let them come out at the 6-minute mark.
I know they can't tell from maybe the video screen, but the pits are very far away. So, yeah, they've got to make that long trek across and join up in turn 2. And then they'll be a part of the course and start the strategy for the new starting procedure.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about that new starting procedure. You were intimately involved in helping pull that and put it together, but we've buried the 80-mile-an-hour rule right up just about where you're standing, I think is where we said it was yesterday. So it's gone. It came into play very quickly yesterday in our first heat. Andrew Tate and the Goodman Real Estate went down, and the boat was below 80 miles an hour for the better part of a minute. It would have been a DSQ in years past, but not this time. He was able to pick the boat up, get it running. He was late, but he picked up third-place points, and that's the whole idea.
Well, better show for the fans, for the sponsors, everyone involved. We don't want to DSQ for somebody for something like that. So I was glad to see that it came up right away, and Andrew got himself back in the heat and was racing and all good. And I think I see a rooster tail over there.
We got a couple of them coming. In fact, make that 3. We're looking for 4 boats to come away from the dock. I count 1, 2, 3. Now there is number 4 at the 5-minute 20-second mark. It is H1 Unlimited Heat 3 presented by the Guntersville Water Board. Guntersville Water Board, Mike Denslow, they've been on board here a number of years with sponsorship dollars for this event. I don't have to tell you, sponsorships are so critical. We thank Guntersville Water Board for their participation.
I've heard that name a lot as you've been calling the races here since 2018, and I think back to that Jimmy Shane, Andrew Tate final heat in 2018, and of all the races that have happened in the last 10 years, I've probably watched that one more than any other race.
That was an awful lot of fun. Well, that was an interesting race across the lake, if you will, because Corey Peabody appeared like he wanted to come across here first and get himself established, and Jamie Nielsen said, you know what, and he ran right up alongside him. And now Corey is kind of giving it a little squirt. He's going to come down the front straightaway first. This is going to give us our first opportunity to see our boats in our Heat 3 H1 Unlimited Heat presented by the Guntersville Waterboard. It's U9, the defending Guntersville champion. That is Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. Here comes the Miss Mercury's Coffee. I know you really like this one. Talking about sponsors, we got a brand new one right here, Mike. That's pretty good stuff.
Mercury's Coffee and Morgan Harris out of the Seattle area. Yeah, we're excited to have them on board for sure.
And how about this? You got the defending national high points champion, the red boat on the inside, and that guy on the outside. He's won a few times before. The winningest driver in the history of H1 Unlimited Racing, Dave Villwalk, got that brand new craft. Always good to see a new boat on the water.
And isn't it amazing how it's showing really well right out of the box?
Yeah, I think his second run that he did on Friday, I think they touched a 163, and we're talking about a new sponsor with Mercury's Coffee, Apollo Mechanical, out of the Tri. You know those guys.
Absolutely, yeah. We were really excited to bring them on board for the Tri-Cities race, the Seattle race, and on a boat, on a brand new boat driven by Dave Villwalk.
Going to be good. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to the start. Now we'll watch our start procedure come into play. Mike and I'll try and do our best to describe it, but the bottom line is 80-mile-an-hour rule is gone, and you have to have your boat behind the start-finish line at 90 seconds. That really never came into play yesterday, Mike. Nobody got close to the line at 90 seconds. We'll see how they play it today. I think we're going to see different strategies as the day plays out. The first thing I noticed this morning, Strong Racing, Corey Peabody, they had the saltwater snorkel on yesterday. It's gone now.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that. So, yeah, Corey's got to make up some points to guarantee himself for the final, so that'll be fun to see. The big thing with the starting procedure is wanting 4 boats hitting start-finish right on time. So I'm glad we put that into play, and yesterday worked out well. I talked to Andrew, and he just made a mistake. He got going too slow and killed it, but then he was able to get back in the race.
And we know with this new start procedure, some of what we might see is a little bit of trolling, and we've got a little bit of it going on right now as J. Michael Kelly is approaching the entrance pin to turn 2 at the top of the race course. He's barely moving. Teammate Corey Peabody's going to come right up there with him. Where is Dave going to stick his boat? I'm going to assume he is going to go to the outside. Meanwhile, Jamie Nielsen has got himself parked in lane number 1 coming off the top end of the race course. Now, looking at the clock, the minute 30 will come into play. We've got a minute 45.
Oh, they'll be fine.
They're going to be fine, but I'm expecting the boats to come up with more speed and surprise Jamie. Jamie's now being told go ahead and go because we're five seconds away from a minute 30. He's going to be fine and legal, and he's going to be sitting in lane number 1. 130 right there, clearly legal. Jamie pulled off another one.
Yep, Jamie has a way of doing that. He did that in Madison last year and smoked everybody.
Now, lane 1 is not his yet because the commitment buoy where they commit to their lane is the entrance pin to turn 2. But he is in a perfect position right now to what we call defend that lane.
Absolutely. He'll just hold that speed. They're not going to be able to go fast enough to get around and in front of him, at least I don't think so, before turn 2.
Yeah, he's got his radio man over here, Scott Rainey, talking in his ear, telling him exactly where these guys are. And J. Michael Kelly, did he get...
Mike just got wet a little bit, yep.
And that was courtesy of teammate Corey Peabody, who moved in on him. So it looks like it's going to be the Mercury's Coffee and Jamie Nielsen in lane number 1. Looks like Peabody's going to sit in 2 in the Beacon Plumbing, Beacon Electric. U1, J. Michael Kelly going to land in lane 3. Dave Villwalk will trail the field up to the top end, but he'll be with them when they come down, and I suspect we'll see him on the outside. Looking at the clock, we're inside 30 seconds now till the start. It's about a 12-second run, Mike, off the top end of the race course to the line. They look good.
I heard you say that yesterday, but 12 and a couple boats jumped, so maybe it's 11 because these boats are speeding up.
I hope these guys don't listen to me. My timing marks don't count. Inside 15 seconds, coming up on 10. Mike, you wanted to have 4 wide at the start. This is what you wanted to do with this start procedure, and you're going to get it with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, look at this. Going to break the clock. Jamie Nielsen, Miss Mercury's Coffee on the inside, broke the clock. But the speed, Mike Denslow, was on the outside. Dave Villwock had a lot of speed as they hammer down into turn number 1. Who's going to get down there first? Jamie Nielsen, Mercury's Coffee, U11. But there's Rooster Tails with him on the outside. Oh, and who is that getting wet in there? I believe that was Corey Peabody. Corey Peabody somehow got hooked to an inside a little bit and got into the rooster tail of Jamie Nielsen, and he is going down, or at least going very slowly up the backstretch.
Oh, he's got power.
We're being advised of a potential penalty to the 11, but we're going to call the boats the way they are in the water because, Mike Denslow, you're going to come out here with 3 wide. Watch this. There's Nielsen. Oh, there's Kelly, and there's Villwock. 1, 2, 3 as they're going to come down and put lap number 1 of 3 in the books, and we are going this time 3 times around. Dave hangs the Apollo. Holy cow, a lot of air underneath that boat. Jamie Nielsen still hanging on. Dave was really flying the boat, Mike.
He was right alongside J. Michael Kelly. He's showing the speed on that Apollo boat.
Start has been ruled legal, so everybody's good there. Here comes Corey Peabody. There may be a question there, but we will get into that after the heat is over. Meanwhile, Jamie Nielsen trying to hold off the winningest driver in the history of the sport, and Dave Villwock in a brand new boat, and our defending national high points champion, that being J. Michael Kelly. Mike Denslow, it looks like 1 boat going up the backstretch. You've got 3.
I know. I think J. Michael Kelly's making up ground. I think Dave has moved back a little bit, but we'll see right when they come around this yellow buoy.
They should get the green flag when they come. Oh, Kelly is right there. This is going to come down to a 2-boat run to the clock and to pick up a white flag with 1 to go. Villwock has dropped back. Kelly in lane 2. He's about 2 boat lengths behind. I say it all the time, Mike Denslow, but that's as good as it gets in boat racing. Get a couple of guys hooked up, and they're really going at it.
The water conditions are perfect, and they are hanging it out there.
Miss Mercury's Coffee, U11, brand new sponsor. Could they possibly pick up a first heat victory as Jamie flies the boat? He's going to have to pull his foot out a little bit. That may give JMK an opportunity to move up, but it doesn't look like he gained much ground. Again, it looks like 1 boat out front. There are 2. This is going to be a drag race off the top end of the race course to see who wins our Heat 3 presented by the Guntersville Water Board. Mike Denslow, this is going to be good.
Jamie's hanging it in there, and Mike is right there on his outside.
Acceleration's going to be the key. Nielsen on the inside. Kelly on the outside. This is going to be really close. And J. Michael Kelly is going to come across and pick up a checkered flag.
By a boat length.
Holy cow, if that much. Dave Villwock in a Miss Apollo. He comes by in 3rd place. And still running on the race course and strong at the top end of the race course is the U9, the Beacon Plumbing, and our defending Guntersville champion, Corey Peabody. There was the incident, whatever it was, that caused Corey Peabody to get inside Jamie Nielsen's rooster tail. I know the officials are going to be looking at that. But here comes a checkered flag going to get waved for Corey Peabody in the U9, the Beacon Plumbing. Yesterday afternoon, on Friday, our fastest legal lap was turned by the Mercury's Coffee and Jamie Nielsen. Yesterday, the boat just did not look that strong. Darrell Strong came over to me and said, where did we lose 6 miles an hour? We spent a lot of time looking at the boats. I talked to Scott Rainey. He said, we did the same thing. We went stem to stern on that U11. And he said, we found a whole bunch of little things. And he said, we don't know if we went the right way. We hope we did. We think we did. Regardless of what happens in that incident, they went the right direction. The boat looked strong.
And with Jamie in lane 1, yeah, he was dictating out there, and he had a great showing for Mercury's Coffee. Exciting heat, and it reminded me of that 2018 final with Andrew Tate just on the outside beating Jimmy Shane by a boat length.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. So I'm just looking at some notes that are being handed to me by H1 Unlimited, and I think we already knew pretty much all of that. We did get the fact it was a good start. We got a driver over there looking for a driver's rep, and that's kind of how this works.
Yep.
But there were questions. One of the boats got very wet coming out of the corner, and everybody sees it differently. Imagine how that works.
Corey's been wet a couple times, and you look at Strong Racing, they won every race last year.
Yep.
And Darrell will be the first one to tell you that's not going to happen again this year. And Corey, as you mentioned yesterday, he didn't lose a heat until Seattle last year.
Not a heat that he finished.
That's
You're
right.
You're exactly right.
And so now he's had tough luck 2 times running so far. So, yeah, the odds come back around. And Jamie, wow, what a great heat driving for Mercury's Coffee. And J. Michael Kelly just getting him by a boat length or less there right at the very end. Very impressive.
Did you check out all the Mercury's Coffee shirts that were down here watching that heat? The Mercury's Coffee brass was all here. That had to be an exciting moment for them. There's a question about the corner, but either way, an exciting moment for that team. Boat looks great.
Absolutely, yeah. And their boat looks great. Their team shirts look great. And there must have been 12, 15 Mercury's Coffee people standing on the beach.
Oh, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was, Brad.
Want to do that some more?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's have some more fun today.
Well, we're going to do that type of racing about 4 more times today, so there's lots still to happen on the H1 side. Looking at our schedule, next up on the schedule, coming up at 11 o'clock, we got the vintage boats going to come out at 10:30, and then we're going to follow that with Farm Fresh Grand Prix Heat 3B. But right now, we're kind of monitoring the official radios. As you suggested to me last night, I'm going to do exactly what you said. You're the boss, man. We're going to step away. We're going to play some good music here. We will go check with the officials, see if there was any call. And if there was or there wasn't, we'll come back and make sure you have the official results. Brad Luce, Mike Denslow, thank you very much. We'll be back with more action.